Hello and welcome to The Issue. I'm Justin Chenette. In this episode, we're going to continue our transparency and accountability coverage of the political climate both in Washington and in Augusta. Here's what's making news. Last month, President Barack Obama announced a 17,000-member troop increase to be deployed in Afghanistan. Quote, "We have a clear and focused goal to disrupt, dismantle, and defeat al-Qaeda in Pakistan and Afghanistan," said Obama in a press conference. While the president remains committed, the American public seems to be divided on the war. According to recent CNN polls, 47% of Americans still support the war in Afghanistan, while 51% opposes it. It should also be noted that Afghan President Hamid Karzai publicly supports Obama's plan. War. It is a word too often heard in the Middle East. The recent 3-week Israeli-Gaza conflict is among the intense violence and disorder in the region, with what started out as random rocket attacks turned into an all-out military offensive. When the democratically elected terrorist group Hamas and the other Palestinian factions in Gaza began to bomb southern Israel, the gloves were off. This marked the end of the 6-month ceasefire agreement brokered by Egypt in June of 2008. Israel then began to retaliate with selective airstrikes towards Hamas targets. The death totals have reached 1,200 on the Palestinian side and 13 on the Israeli side. After 22 days of fighting, the conflict seems to be subsiding. For now, recently, Israel removed all troops from the Gaza Strip while keeping an ongoing eye on Hamas movements after achieving its military goals. Both sides have made declarations of ceasefire, but no official agreement has been reached. Shifting the spotlight from the Middle East to the Asian Pacific, there is trouble on the Korean Peninsula once again. Satellite images have discovered a rocket on a launch site in northeastern North Korea. While the North Korean officials have proclaimed that the rocket will be used for a commercial satellite only, U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates has stated there is only one reason for the launch set sometime between April 4th and April 8th, to boost North Korea's military capacity. In response, U.S. Navy ships have been positioning themselves in the Sea of Japan. Only time will tell if this recent escalation is a military action or just a simple misunderstanding. While the list of foreign policy issues continues to increase, there are very significant domestic issues here at home. The top priority is the current economic recession. In February, Congress passed a $787 billion economic stimulus package, officially titled the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office has estimated job creation anywhere between 1 and 3 million jobs. Also included in the package are a number of tax credits. On the CW's weekly public affairs show, Youth in Politics, Maine State Treasurer David Lemoyne stated, quote, "We are facing tough times as individuals in the state and as a state government, but these are not insurmountable or unprecedented. We are in sound financial shape," end quote. Yet Maine is facing the highest unemployment rate in 17 years, standing at around 8%. In addition, the state is facing a major budget shortfall, currently hovering at a $200 million price tag. Even with these issues, the state treasurer believes the combination of the governor's efforts and the stimulus money from the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act will turn Maine's economy around. Maine's sliver of the $787 billion financial pie will total approximately $2 billion. The state is poised to utilize the fund quickly. Governor John Baldacci put together an economic team to figure out those target areas that are most needed for stimulus money prior to the finalized numbers. Like the National Transparency Plan set forth by President Barack Obama, Maine's Transparency Plan includes a website. The website breaks down the numbers into specific categories. Here are those categories. Tax relief standing at $645.6 million. The state and local fiscal relief is standing at $548.1 million. For infrastructure and science, the fiscal notion is $176.9 million. Allocated to education and training is $172.9 million. Protecting the vulnerable, $164.2 million. Energy is standing at $80.5 million. The category of other is at $38.6 million. And finally, but surely not least, healthcare, $6.3 million allocated. For more information on the stimulus monies going to the state, visit www.mainerecovery.gov. That's www.mainerecovery.gov. Another domestic issue has to deal with our southern border with Mexico. Recently, the Obama administration has made ending the violence in the area a top priority. From the smuggling of drugs and weapons to the killing of innocent civilians, both the United States and Mexico are cracking down on drug cartels threatening any possible regional stability. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton calls the escalation, quote, a terrible law enforcement problem. Next month, Obama travels to the region for the annual Summit of the Americas to discuss this issue and other vital issues in the region. From comedy skits to music videos, YouTube has been a 21st century source for entertainment. This free online medium, however, will be expanding its far-reaching demographic to include Washington, D.C. politicians. Recently, the U.S. Congress has created its own YouTube page in an attempt to actively engage young people and communication between the government and its constituents. So far, both the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives pages have numerous videos of congresspeople updating and informing the public on the current work going down in the hallowed halls. This initiative parallels President Barack Obama's new whitehouse.gov website. The site, which began the moment Barack Obama was sworn in, includes interactive features from weekly video addresses to in-depth updates of executive decisions. The plan is to further communication between its administration and the average citizen by providing complete transparency with ongoing initiatives. Quote, President Barack Obama is committed to creating the most open and accessible administration in American history, end quote, according to a quote on the recently newly designed website. Only time will tell if the new online outreach by the executive and legislative branches of government will achieve the goals set forth. That does it for this edition of The Issue. I'm Justin Chenette. Remember to become aware with issues of the day and get involved in your community. If you would like to follow my career path or contact me, please visit my website at www.justinchenette.com. This has been The Issue. See you next time.